like flailing a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, are we live right now?
All right.
We're going live.
Yeah,
We're going live.
we're live. It's always funner to come on live when we're actually talking, as opposed to just waiting for the bell to ring.
And having a conversation, right?
Yeah. Which is really good. So yes, we are live. And hello and welcome to the Livestream Decoded show. Hello, digital challengers and live streamers. We're going to be showing you the strategies, tools, and the platforms that your business needs to be able to brand value, create remarkable digital experience, and deliver it online anytime, any place. My name is Doyle Bueller, and I'm with my co-host here, Keith Keller, who will say a few words coming up. We also have a special guest, Linda Rey, who will be joining us on the other side of the world, and will be joining us as well. And so we're really talking about what's really important here. We call it our live streaming ABC, audience building and content. And today in part 8 of our limited series shows, we're talking about marketing and video repurposing. So let's dig in. Keith Keller, considered by many to be one of the world's leading authorities on Twitter marketing, especially Twitter video marketing. And Linda Rey's talent is in building businesses using the 21st century tools alongside old-fashioned selling and networking efforts, resulting in 800 increase in revenue. And my name is Doyle Bueller. I run a strategic digital marketing consultancy where we are creating real-time connected and adaptive digital challenger brands in this disruptive digital economy. Welcome, Keith.
Hey, look at this. This is amazing. We're on part 8. We've tried just about every site available now. We've tried Ecamm, which is really hard but looked great. We tried Restream, which was awful. We tried all sorts of different things, Zoom, Be Live, and here we are back, and I want to say it this way. We're back on Streamyard because we've made a decision. We've made a decision that Streamyard is, of the sites we've tried, the one that we prefer. It's easy to use. You can send it to 5 sites at once. You can have 5 guests. You can record. And all of the bells and whistles and all of the ticks are there. And we had a checklist, and we've done that in the other parts, the other 7 parts. But what we're doing today is we're going to take it up a notch. And this show we've called Reuse It or Lose It. Because most people I know that are live streaming, they send it out and they forget. They send it out and they never come back. They never reuse it. They never repurpose it. They never retweet it. So we've got Linda Rey calling in from Connecticut to talk about her live streaming experience, how she has done some shows before and how she's been repurposing those as podcasts, as blog posts, and how we share a common addiction to editing and why that's so powerful. So welcome to the show, Linda, and thanks so much for being part of this journey with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And I have to have a special shout out to Sivan at Two Heads, because I had put out a poll, Streamyard or Restream, and she connected us on Twitter for you guys to weigh in. And I'm so happy I'm coming in where you guys have chosen Streamyard, because I just subscribed to Streamyard. So what luck is that?
Look, let me pick up on what you just said there. This is actually Twitter 101. Less than 2 weeks ago, a friend of mine in Israel sent me a tweet to say, mate, you might want to jump in on this Twitter poll that this friend of mine in Connecticut's doing. And we chatted and hit it off. And suddenly, within 2 weeks, not only are we chatting, but you're on our show. And
I know.
This is exactly the way the world works now, isn't it?
The magic of virtual streaming. And, I've been a Twitterholic since 2009. Twitter has always been my jam. And I kind of got out of it a little bit for a couple of years. I sold my interest in an insurance agency that I was a part of, and kind of, took a year or 2 off and started a new Twitter account. But I love Twitter. So yes, Twitter brought us together. I'm so happy.
No, it's a fantastic tool to use. And that's why we're actually one of the reasons why we picked StreamYard is because Twitter is the Twitter god, Keith is the Twitter god. And so we wanted to broadcast onto Twitter. But we can only do that with Periscope, and StreamYard is one of the few that actually has Periscope.
Yeah, one of the few. It's one of the very few, isn't it? Like Be Live, the one we started with, and Be Live is very popular if you're using Facebook, and it also uses YouTube. But surprisingly, it doesn't access Periscope, which I found amazing. And Periscope was there right at the beginning, and everyone else has come afterwards, and it seems to have been this forgotten child. But we're creating some miracles there, aren't we?
We are, and we're also sort of going back over this and seeing, why is this piece missing? Like, why don't they have that? And one of the biggest disappointments was the ability to pre-schedule live. Not all the software, not all the platforms have it, so we're kind of stuck. Well, do we actually send out a link, as soon as the show goes live? Are we able to sort of set one up in advance? And that's been a huge issue for us, especially for Periscope, because how do we connect with that Twitter audience directly without actually being able to do that? And I know Periscope can't do that, period, in terms of scheduling in advance, but Facebook you can. But at the same time, not every platform allows you to schedule directly into Facebook, so that you've got that reserved slot that you can then send out, right? In marketing, that's one of the major things, is to build some buzz around it, and how do you get people excited, and how do you get people coming? So we came up with a good solution. I think it's being used quite well, but utilizing Eventbrite as sort of a third-party tool to schedule it.
It's nice because it has the registration, and you get reminders of the events. And I think too, from last week, the link is right there for people to then click, and they're in the show. And here we are. You have the viewers already set up in there, or the viewers are already attending because of the Eventbrite. That's my experience from last week on how that happened. Yeah.
And let me pick up on what happened last week. We had 300 live viewers. And we're just going ballistic. And this week, for fun, we're shooting for 500 live viewers, because this particular show is about the buzz of the live experience. We can record, and we can edit, and we can make these glorious videos in 4K, and we can send them out to YouTube, and that's good too. But this idea that people are on the show and they can ask questions now, and we actually don't know what's going to happen. We have no control in a way, and in a way that's fun and dangerous. And someone recently called me the evil Knievel.
We're living on the edge.
I love the danger part of it, especially as the newbie in the group here with live streaming. I love that it's dangerous, because
it's the highway to the danger zone. What are you talking about?
There you go.
So tell us about your experience with video, Linda.
Sure.
How you've been using it, live streaming. I know it's new for a lot of businesses, but we'd love to sort of hear your insights and your experiences.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me. My name is Linda Rey. I live in Connecticut, like we talked about, in Roxbury, Connecticut, which is where Arthur Miller and Marilyn Monroe lived when they were first married. And my company is Aurora Consulting, and we do a couple of different things, which I won't get into too much, other than we do commercial financing for businesses to help them grow with the pandemic. That has been a little challenging. My partner, Trevor, is a professional musician. And so what happened was he does a lot of live shows, IRL, where straps his guitar on the back and goes out and plays music for restaurants and nursing homes. And that also took a little bit of hit with COVID-19.
Yeah.
So what happened was we kind of pivoted real quick in a couple of different realms. And one of them was to do live streaming shows on Facebook, where he was playing music, and we would pick a theme to the show. And then I would be there with him, and I would be doing trivia questions in between songs. It was just like this fun, quirky, let's keep things as light as possible because things are challenging. So it was my first time really going live. And Trevor doesn't have the same camera shy issue. He would go live all the time to prepare for his shows if he was going to a restaurant or whatever, but not me. So when we started these live streaming shows, we we planned it out. We had some kind of semblance of order, and then we would record the show, we would save the show, and then we would capture snippets of funny little things throughout the show, and then promote post-show. We would promote if someone gifted us with something because they appreciated the show, they would bring something by our house, whether it was a pizza or a bottle of wine, and we would cut that clip and then thank them on, with that promotional piece. And then in the end of all the different shows, when we ceased all the live shows, I put together a montage of, as best as I could, a 5-minute show, which was condensed from about 30 hours of footage and put together a montage to say, we thank you so much for supporting us. And this was this is a little bit of what we had going for a little while live. And it was great. And it was fun. And it was just, that's what you do with video. I mean, you just kind of recycle it as best as possible.
Yeah.
It's a gift. It's just such a gift.
What I love about what you've said there is you've taken, because it maps perfectly over this, and Doyle and I are tracking this with several people here in Australia. It maps perfectly over the live experience. You go to a venue, you're singing songs, and in between the songs, you're bantering about the previous song or the next song, or you're taking requests, and it's a very interactive process. And so if you take the analogy of the live gig, then live streaming is like purpose built for this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we're not singing, although I can sing and I will if you want me to. But,
I don't either, by the way. I don't sing either.
But the point is that we're taking this live experience and we're saying, okay, look, we're all locked in our houses, but we can still communicate. In fact,
Sure.
Linda and I came up with this really cool phrase, live streaming is the new networking, because, what are we going to do? We can't go into the city. We can't jump on a plane. We can't get in a train. We can't drive anywhere, for any distance, because, everyone's in lockdown and everyone's a bit cautious. So we're taking this technology, which is available to us for $25 a month. And we're talking to people all over the world. Last week we had people calling in from Jamaica, from Portland, Oregon. I'm in Melbourne, Doyle's in Perth. And we had people calling in from Sydney and Brisbane and Tasmania. And this is the live show I want to have.
Right.
Because it'll go better afterwards, but we're here now and we're creating something unique at the time. And I love that, don't you?
Yeah, to make it interesting and exciting. And just to that point, whoever's watching live, please drop a comment, drop a question in the comment section, and you've got some amazing people that we can talk to right now. So feel free, drop a question in there anytime you want.
Well, I have a question actually. Yeah. So especially with Streamyard
you have to type it in though, Linda. Sorry.
I have to. So I have to actually ask myself a question. So is that what's happening? Okay. Because I was actually going to start typing.
We're just testing it out.
The thing with Streamyard that I found that seemed a little unfortunate is when you choose your destination with Streamyard and say you choose Facebook, one of the benefits of Facebook is you get to have a watch party. Except if you're doing the Streamyard, if you are the originator of the Streamyard and you want to share it to your personal page, and I should preface, because I know how you're going to answer this, that you can actually put it on your business page and your personal page, and you can have up to 5 destinations. However, if you don't want to pay for that and you want to do the $25, I think it's only 2 destinations. So if I do the live stream show on my business page, because I want to attract attention to my business and what I offer, and then I want to do a watch party to my personal page because I have 1,500 friends, you can't do it unless if you can, what's the workaround for that? Do you use your phone on the side and then have to take the time away from the viewer and then hold on while I start my watch party? How does that work?
Look, I'll have a go at answering that if you want.
I've never tested that. Go ahead, Keith.
So while we've been chatting, This is exactly an answer to your question, but through the Periscope lens. Because I'm a Twitter dude and I love Periscope, and Periscope cannot pre-schedule, what I have done, and I'm guessing this could be done for the watch party, is I pre-formatted a tweet at 10 to 11 and had it waiting to drop in the link. And while we've been chatting, and hopefully it's not too distracting, while we've been chatting, I've been cutting and pasting and clicking, right mouse clicking all my friends to say, hey, we're live now, come to this.
Really?
So while we've been chatting, you might not even have noticed. Hopefully you didn't notice.
Well, yeah, I didn't notice because I'm in the Streamyard app watching you two handsome gentlemen to keep focus on, all right, don't lose my cue, you know. So I wasn't in another tab with Twitter, but that's good to know.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah, but
I'm
that's an
guessing
interesting point.
we can do something similar. One of the things that I personally love, and the jury's out here, is that I personally love the multi-streaming idea. I love the idea that I can send this file to Periscope, which goes automatically to Twitter. I can send it to LinkedIn Live if you have it. Most people I know don't. I can send it to YouTube. I can send it to a Facebook, a page, a profile, and a group. And I can send it to Twitch if I have it.
Mhm.
I'm really interested in that idea, but the jury's out in the idea that maybe you should just do one at a time and focus. There's some value there, one at a time and focus. Let's just do Facebook. Let's just do a Facebook watch party and see how that goes. We might even do that experiment.
Yeah.
Multi-streaming.
It really depends.
Yeah.
It really depends on who your audience is, and that's part of our live streaming ABCs is defining that audience. And for us, sort of as a introductory type show for businesses, it's good to be on these different challenges, or not challenges, these channels rather. So we kind of have to look at how do we, interact with people across the interwebs. But if you're looking for something more specific, that's where you could actually, and the cool thing is you can broadcast directly into a private Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
Which gives you that specific audience that you've worked with them before. So it really kind of gives you an opportunity to be able to show them exactly what you're doing. In regards to the watch parties, like honestly, I haven't used them a lot, but what you can do is generate them after the session as well, and that's how I've seen them used also. So,
Wow.
yeah, so it's something to try to see, again, bringing more people in to sort of give it that feel of being live, but not as a live show. So,
Good question, though. Do we have any
yeah.
questions? Do we have anyone in the audience that wants to jump in and be part of this process for us?
Not yet.
Okay, no worries.
It's looking kind of quiet, but hey, we'll just keep going. Excuse me.
Well, let me pick up on while you're
Oh,
getting.
we lost Linda. Where did you go?
All right. Well, while we're waiting for Linda to jump back in there, because it's all based on internet speed in whatever location you're in. We're going to talk about two very different ideas on this particular call. One is we're going to talk about my 3-step plan now for the live streaming. One is there's a pre-show marketing phase where you put out tweets and Facebook posts and Twitter messages on LinkedIn to tell people that we actually are going live. And in that particular part, I want to pull apart for you this idea that you've now created Eventbrite pages, and how hard is that, and what value proposition does that pose? I'll come back to that idea. The second part is what is it like to do the live streaming show itself? And then the third part is what's the value of chopping it up and making it all repurposed, sending it to a podcast, sending it to a blog, sending it to little snippets on Twitter. So while we're waiting for Linda, can you jump back a bit and tell me how you did the Eventbrite page? Because that's a piece of the pie we've only started experimenting with, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. No, thanks, Keith, for that lead in. I mean, that was one of the biggest barriers we saw was how do you actually connect a live stream with an actual event? Because again, look, you can connect sort of spontaneously and do a Facebook Live and that sort of thing, which happens very quickly. But if you're planning something like a training or something with specific content, then it's obviously really good to be able to do that in advance. So we have to be able to have that link to the live. And actually, here comes Linda. She's back here.
She's back in.
Just
Yeah.
bring her in.
Nothing like living in the country when you're having a storm.
Okay.
We're
No,
having.
look,
It's not only nighttime, but we're having a storm in the country.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
Those
Anyway.
storms happen.
just in case you didn't think it was live, you now know.
Carry on. Carry on.
Look what we're doing, Linda. Just to prep you, I'm really impressed with how Doyle has been able to pull apart this Eventbrite piece. Up until now, we've just sort of gone live and sort of see what happens. But now we're as early as possibly Monday before. Doyle puts together a lovely Eventbrite site which has a link to click, so you get an email an hour before the show, and it's all starting to be very sensible. And we were just about to talk about that. So if you're okay, can I throw to Doyle and get him to talk about how he did that?
Please do.
There he is.
Thanks, Linda. Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, you need to have the option to be able to market the show specifically. So we sort of went hunting to see what can we do that. Obviously, again, the issue was how do we actually get that Facebook link in advance, which you can do only on specific platforms. Be Live, you can do that in advance. You can do that on Streamyard. And what else? The other ones, you can't. So, for example, Zoom, you can't schedule a live stream on Facebook.
Ecamm? What was Ecamm on?
Ecamm, you can. Yes, correct. That's correct. But you can't with the other one, Restream. Restream doesn't allow you to do that. It allows you multiple channels, but you can't schedule in advance. So anyway, the point is that once you have that Facebook link, it's basically reserved that spot for you. But how do you actually promote it? And so Eventbrite's come up with the great idea. What we did for some of the shows where we didn't have that opportunity to have that direct link was just put in a Facebook event and then direct people to the Facebook event. But with Eventbrite, you actually paste in the upcoming Facebook link at the time and date that you select, and then it's actually sent to people automatically. So it really allows you to monitor it and to notify people, to give them a reminder to say, hey, this show's coming up in a couple of hours as well. So it's really quite slick, quite honestly, and it can connect back into a Facebook page as well. So I've been actually quite impressed by the whole capability. You do, of course, have to create an extra asset here, right? This extra page on Eventbrite. But once you have it kind of set up, you can create it as a template and kind of add additional events and go from there. So it's really quite helpful. And I think going forward, that's the key ingredient. I know that on Facebook, you can actually, when you do reserve that Facebook Live, if you schedule one in advance, it does send out a notification to say, notify me of this live or something like that. So you can get notified by Facebook. But again, people are pretty busy and that sort of thing. So it's hard for them to just drop everything. But when you're planning it, you can add it to your calendar when you get the Eventbrite link. When you get the reminders, you can add it to your calendar as well. So, and you can learn more about the event also. You can customize that text within each of the emails. So overall, that was a really good experience. And I think, as I said, Keith, we're going to be using that going forward for the stuff that we use. That doesn't mean that you can't have a spontaneous event either, right? Because those are super fun and super important to do as well. So.
What are your thoughts there, Linda? Does that create some additional functionality that you would appreciate?
I do appreciate it because I think I know the part of the lineup with the agenda that you guys had structured was, pre-marketing of an event. And I think there are a couple of challenges that I have seen in the 15 years of marketing and doing live events, in-person events, and then just trying to get engagement and creating content is how are you going to get people to show up? And I know you guys have already had shows talking about ways to increase engagement to the events. And this is one element that is incredibly useful, the Eventbrite, to broadcast to your email list, to get people to be notified. Of course, there's a percentage of people that aren't ever going to show up because there's a lot going on now with live events and with virtual events and with Zoom meetings and GoTo meetings. But you increase your chance of people being notified by email, because email is still king. Email marketing is still absolutely the best way, because you own your contents and your contacts, and you own your content. So it's still the best way to broadcast what you're doing and where you're doing it and with who you're doing it with. That's my thought on that.
It's an extremely interesting idea, because I noticed that this particular show had a lot of pre-marketing more than the others. And the reason why I want to do a show with guests and why I want to pre-format the show is that you now get a chance to tell your friends and your tribe that you're on this show, which means that you introduce us to your tribe, and we introduce you to our tribe. And chances are none of my friends have been to Connecticut and none of your friends have been to Melbourne. So it's a different tribe,
definitely
right?
Never
I haven't been to Melbourne and Perth. I want to go to Melbourne and Perth. Okay.
Most Melburnians haven't been to Perth, so that's okay. It's far. We're talking far. It's diametrically opposed to New York around the globe.
It's Miami, LA. It's Miami, LA.
It's a different time zone. I didn't know that it's a different time zone, because once we all connected, on my world clock went Melbourne and Perth to know that, they're 2 hours apart. So it's, for us, it's Eastern time zone compared to Central time zone, or Mountain time zone, actually, because it's 2 hours apart. But I think with live streaming, if I don't want to hijack the agenda or anything, but I think live streaming is one of the key points of it, is that people aren't embracing it yet, to some extent.
Why do you think?
Well, so I say that I might be projecting, because you're asking me that question. So I might be projecting. I think live streaming has some challenges with just the psyche itself of, so I can't edit it. So I already told you I love editing. So we've been doing videos. We've been doing 2 weekly videos since September, but I would get to edit those. But then you add in live and you're like, so you're stammering, there's breaths, there's all these things you get to take out of in the editing process. Maybe you can't find the words, so you're just like, and dead air.
But that's natural. That makes it more natural, and that sort of takes away that sort of expectation of perfection. This is us, pimples and everything, ugly hair and all, that says, hey, we're just going to do this. We're going to have fun. We're going to have a conversation as well. So I agree that we can't necessarily, we do, like, editing certainly helps clean it up. But what I love about live streaming is that it's there, it's done, and you don't have a lot of a little bit of pre-production, but not a lot of post-production. So
no post-production, unless when you save it.
But look, I've got a thought about this, because I've been talking about this a lot, and there's a couple of things that are going on with live streaming. If you have the chutzpah, the courage to do it, you're going to be out on a limb, because there's no one there with you. I mean, how many people do you personally know doing live streams? There's a handful of us, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
It's hard, did you say, Linda?
Well, it's hard, and the thing is that if you've got the courage to do it, instantly you're standing out from the crowd, because everyone else is doing the easy stuff, getting their blogs written for them, doing podcasts and not showing their face, doing videos and editing them. Those are all great things, but it's very crowded in those spaces, very crowded. It's never crowded on the extra mile, right? The extra mile is live streaming. This is the new extra mile. And it is challenging. It took me a long time to get my head around it. But once I've turned it on and I'm up for it, You know, there's not many people doing it by comparison. Would you agree?
I think that it's still a work in progress. There are more people that are not the early adopters for sure. And I think I love the word that you use, which is courage. And it got me thinking about, why do we need courage to be live on video? Because when I go to a networking event, I'm not editing my behavior like in the moment. I'm in that networking event and you see me and this is me and we're having a conversation and this is how I do it. It's real life. Well, that's the same with live video. But I'm coming around to that being a new reality for us to take advantage of these the technology and the tools. I'm still, coming around to it. I mean, this morning I went on live for 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And I will tell you, it took me longer to get online live than how long I was on live. So I was like, you know what? My hair's pulled back and I haven't showered and I'm wearing the same thing from the meeting from yesterday. Like, I don't know if I can really actually go on. I don't want to do this. And I was like, you know what? Bleep, I'm going to do it. And I did.
That's fantastic. There's a huge psychology behind going live.
That's what I'm saying. It's huge.
It's funny. You made that point, Linda. Like, you go to a networking event and you get ready and all that kind of stuff, but you're not so self-conscious. Like, imagine if you did that, every person that you met at a real networking event, it's like, oh, is my hair okay? Is my, is my shirt on? Is my lighting okay? Am I sounding okay? Hello, is this thing on? So if you did that like every single time, like, it would just be ridiculous. So I think it's a barrier that we put up by ourselves just because we may not understand the medium. And I'm like you. I like planning a live. Like, sometimes it takes a lot of time to plan it, and even if it is sort of more of a spontaneous one, I make my notes because I want to make sure that I cover off on specific components that I want to talk about, because I can't remember everything, right? So there is a little bit of preparation in advance. I do respect and totally love the people that they're like just the way they go and they're talking about this and talking about that, and it's like, I'm not like that. So I have to prepare myself in advance to say, okay, I need this checklist. I need these items that I'm going to, as discussion points even, to help me through the show. So I don't know. Keith, what do you think?
Well, look, I think there's two things. One is the idea of preparing means that you, in an environment which will eventually become crowded, once people start to get their head around the fact that there's an app for that, then suddenly people will just start live streaming on the couch while they're watching the cricket or, the grid of the Super Bowl. And those things are not that interesting. So if you can prepare ahead of time and have a cool guest and have an agenda and have a nice graphic, then suddenly the experience is much more pleasant for the viewer.
Yes.
So if we create an experience, like there's the graphic for the show.
Graphics.
Yeah, look at this. See, there we are. So we've created a graphic with a theme, and people know in advance what to expect from us. And we've got some ideas of what we're going to talk about. So even if something happens, we've still got a bit of a basis. Then suddenly I believe the show is better. There's something about just going completely spontaneous, but I find those a little boring. I mean, if someone just was live streaming on the couch while watching the Super Bowl, I'm not sure I'd watch that. But if someone said, look, today we're going to talk about the difference between Ecamm and Streamyard. They're very cool, and I'm going to pull apart the differences. You know what to expect, and you're either in or you're out. I'm in this because I want to know about this thing they call Ecamm. How does it work? And Keith's going to tell me. So the idea of pre-formatting the show means that we know what to expect and we're getting stuff. The thing I love about the live, though, is that people can force up the questions and say, hey, I'm watching live and I've got a question. I tried to use StreamYard and can I do a watch party? That was a great question. That was a real question that came out of your experience, yeah?
Yes, exactly. I still don't know the answer, but I mean, I'm going to, with our live streaming and with the StreamYard, every Monday in June. It's DIY marketing month in
Yeah.
June. So myself and another entrepreneur, we're going to be talking about video marketing on Monday. But this past Monday, we tested it. And I got so hung up on the nuances of navigating the platform and having an app for that, that I forgot to have my device that I had on the side. I forgot to set the watch party. So I didn't get to test it the first time in that regard. So I'm going to try to remember to do that on Monday. But I think too, one of the things that we were all wanting to discuss was the repurposing of content and how valuable and rich that is as a strategy when it comes to marketing.
And how do you do it?
Tell us.
Well, so all right. Besides just being new to the live streaming and then figuring out that you can save, that you can save the live streams, you can download the file and then have it as an MP4. Before that, we were doing videos for our business. We had 2 weekly series, If Then Thursday and Finance Friday. As commercial financing brokers, we were talking to business owners on the facts and fundamentals of finance, and that was Finance Friday. And then on Thursday, we did If Then Thursday, which is circumstances and consequences that business owners face every single day. So we would have these 2 videos, and what we would do is we subscribe to a caption service. So because a lot of people watch video without the sound on, that's a real situation. So we would I would get the captions, the transcript downloaded, and then from the downloaded transcription, we would create a blog from that and then put that on the website. And then with the website, we would have the thumbnail to the video and link it to YouTube, to the video on YouTube. Then from the blog we created from the transcript, we would take snackables from the blog, whether it was a sentence or a paragraph, and we would then create social media posts. Wow. And then from the video, we would take a snippet from the video, whether it was like 2 takeaways or 2 key points, and then boom, boom, and it's less than a minute, and then do a post from the transcript with a snippet from the video, and then put it on the social channels. And then just all over the place, Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, whether it's a long form, short form, blog, written word, audio, whatever, video. It's just, it's endless. The possibilities are endless. Yeah.
Let me just jump in there and decode what you just said, because a lot of my friends say, "Oh, Matt, I don't have time." I said, "No worries." I ran an experiment yesterday on this exact story. I was interviewed by a very good friend of mine in Sydney, Angela, and she has this really cool TV channel on YouTube. And so yesterday the video came out on YouTube, and I said, I'm going to run an experiment. We can just send it to YouTube, which is what most people do. Just send it once and just forget it. There it is. Just let it go. Just whatever happens.
Yeah.
So the video has had 75 views in one day on YouTube. Great. And that's what would have happened had we done nothing. Mm-hmm. But what I did was I took a 2-minute snippet and I sent it on Twitter. It had 625 views in the same time period. So that's a 6 times increase in viewers with one idea. Mm-hmm. So if you then take that one idea, and we're going to start doing this, turning that into a square video and put it on IGTV, there's suddenly another 1,000 views will get somewhere. Then you put it on Instagram, and you put it on LinkedIn, and then you put it on Facebook, and then suddenly, as time allows, and that's the key phrase, we all know that time is finite, but you can do nothing, and then suddenly your videos are getting 20 views. And some people are probably happy with that, but I'm not happy with it, and I'm running experiments to say, well, which platform gets the best views? Just today, we decided we're going to make the videos square and put them on IGTV. We've never done that before, so we're going to try it. Doyle's been experimenting with putting 2-minute videos on LinkedIn, and then we're going to compare it to 5-minute videos, because you can have up to 10 minutes on LinkedIn. So each platform has a slightly different audience and a new audience, like they're different people. So in a way, it seems a shame to me to do it once and let it sit there. I mean, it just seems a shame to me to do that. I know some people are just happy to do it once.
It's a shame, but you bring up a good point. That is a real challenge. Who has the time for this? You know, I make the time because I enjoy editing and I love marketing, and I'm fluent with how I can navigate, and I have my Trello board, so I'm organized with my content and, you know, what video is posting where, and the post and the caption and blah, blah, blah. You know, systems is everything. Systems is the freedom to do what you need to do to the level that you want. And if you want 20 views, then yeah, just do what you were just saying, right, Keith? So if all you want is 20 views and you're getting conversions and people are buying from you because you got 20 views, then you don't need to do anything else. If you want 200 views and maybe you get one more conversion or one more client from that, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, moving the needle on whatever the goal is and whatever the result is.
Let me just pick up on what you just said there. Let's explore exactly what happened here. A friend of mine in Jerusalem, Sivan, recommended you to me. And we're chatting, and we would never have met otherwise. And then suddenly you're on my show, our show, Doyle and I, and you get to meet Doyle, who lives in Perth, and you get to meet me, who lives in Melbourne, and we know you now, who lives in Connecticut. And all of my friends in Atlanta and Chicago and Toronto and LA and Jamaica are all watching this show going, hey, this Linda girl, she's pretty funky. You know, but let's see what's happening there. We are introducing you to a new tribe, to a new group of people.
Don't forget about San Francisco.
San Francisco. There we are. We have
our first live comment. Woo!
So he's been on the show before, and so there it is. We're talking about reach. 20 views is a number, and you might get some clients that way. But if you suddenly throw yourself into Jamaica and San Francisco and LA and Vancouver and Toronto and Melbourne and Sydney and Brisbane and Perth, you've got more chance of reaching a target market that gets you. And this is the exact opposite of the in-person experience, where you have to go to a shop in your town and pay cash. You know, that is a bit of a 21st century view of the world. I mean, I don't live in that world. I like yesterday, I went to a hardware shop. I clicked everything online. I was there 2 minutes. They put it in the boot, and I was off. You know?
I just want to say something. I'm raising my hand. I just want to say something about what you just said with the metrics of the views. As a newbie to live, and if there are any other newbies that are watching, the thing is, we get hung up on, okay, there's nobody on, or there's 2 people on.
Yeah.
The thing is, the replay, I think, there's just more going on with replay. People are watching the replay. Maybe they're not watching the entire segment, but they're watching what they need to watch. And it grows. It's sort of like, I have this mantra in my head that you can't celebrate progress if you don't start something somewhere at some time.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't think that I don't think a newbie should concentrate like, oh, I have 2 people. What does that mean? Because Trevor and I, we went bananas. It's like, there's only 10 people coming to Tunes and Trivia. It's like, yeah, except for actually we had the numbers. All right, so then we would look at the numbers after the replay, and we would have 596 engagements and, 257 views. And we're like, oh, and there were only 10 people on. All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah. It's
so
the long tail.
More of like a production of content that we're actually dealing with, right? It's how do you produce the content? So it's not necessarily for everybody, but it is in a way that ability to create that. So live streaming may not be sort of front heavy in terms of getting lots of viewers, but it is sort of, back end heavy where you're able to reuse it, to replay it, you know, to continue to grow your audience. And you know, one of the things that's really cool is you were kind of briefly alluding to that, Linda. But what happens when we can sort of you know, quickly scan to find exactly what we want, where we've got some sort of tool? Maybe Sarji, maybe you can answer this because you're sort of high in that tech area. But you know, why can't we index videos as easily as content? Why can't, you know, AI go through it and pull out the keywords and use that as sort of a searchable form to say, hey, I want to find out stuff just about presenting on live stream. So here it zips you through, you know, the first 5 minutes or whatever the case may be, so you can really locate that content. So yeah, to me, that's really what it's about, is how do you get that content out there, and away we go. Hey, just 1 second, Linda. Here, is this your Trevor?
That's my.
Hey, there he is.
That's my non-husband live-in lover. Yes, he's a rock star. He makes no bones about it. He has no self-image issues at all.
Wow. Okay. Well, he could have been our fourth.
Yeah, he could have been, because he's actually his own. He's in his own right. He is keen on marketing. So
yeah, but that's one of the things we've seen, like with the COVID, you know, quarantine and all that sort of thing. I've seen like a lot of really good musicians take a tool like live streaming and really turn it into something good. There's a fellow from, I think he's from Australia, Keith Ash.
Yeah, he's from Byron Bay, Ash Gunwell.
Yeah. So he's created these big events just from doing the live streaming. So it allows you to reach out. And Sarji was talking about he's got followers in 90 countries, which is bloody amazing, right?
By the way, Trevor is going to be. Trevor, look away, because that right there is a rock star. 90 plus countries. Yeah, that's a rock star.
Well, let me pick up on a couple of things we just said there. First things first, replays. I want to pick up on this idea. This just happened since our last stream. Twitter has now invented a scheduling feature within Twitter. You've always been able to do it with TweetDeck and with TweetSmap and with Buffer, but now you can do it inside the tweet. It's just a little calendar right at the end of your tweet. And so what I decided to do as an experiment is that every other day, other than show day, at 11 o'clock Melbourne time, I tweet previous shows to say, here's what we've been doing so far. And by the way, we've got another show coming.
Yeah.
So the replays get more views because they're replayed, but also we're getting more people on our live streams because they're getting used to, okay, at 11 o'clock every day, there's a live stream there. There's some sort of content. We originally thought we would do this with Restream, which is exactly what that site does. It restreams your other live streams. And we're in the process of experimenting with that. But when I found out that Twitter invented this brand new idea where it can you can actually tweet inside it, you can schedule inside your tweets, I was right onto that, and I've been actually retweeting our previous shows, and the replays are building as they would. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Well, the scheduling tweet it wasn't on my phone. So Keith had sent me a PM, a private message, and he was like, "Do you have this?" I'm like, "No, I don't." And then I didn't look at my desktop, and I have it on my desktop. And who alerted me to that, which you might want to look at. I don't know if you know Christine Gritman, but she is a social media goddess, and she's also she's in New York, and her knowledge is so expansive. And she was the one that had tweeted me back and said, "I have it on my desktop, but not my phone." So that's when I finally was like, "Oh, I do have it. Okay, I don't feel left out. I'm with the cool kids right now." Okay, good.
Well, maybe we could have her and Trevor on our encore show. Like, we had originally planned to do 10 episodes. The last one, which is on in 2 weeks, is going to be a Zoom show where we're going to have all our previous guests. But then we met Linda.
Well, and Sarjeet and Trevor and anybody else is all welcome to come on.
Now we've got an encore show with Linda called Live Streaming is the New Networking, because we are getting a very strong sense that this is the way things are going. Yeah. And I think Christine could come on that show.
Well, yeah, for sure. She's a queen. Her podcast, it's social podcast. She's epic. But I will say, I talked to somebody today who is a caterer. Now,
Wow.
I'm from the insurance world, 30 years, commercial financing. There is nothing sexy about insurance and financing when you're trying to position your marketing campaign. Okay. Listen, you can argue with me and I would welcome anyone to challenge me on that. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I have been doing it for years and she's a caterer. And so I was like, oh my gosh, Annie, do you know what you can do? The video that you can do, get in the kitchen, set up a tripod, go live with doing what you do in the kitchen with your magic. And, so people I think this COVID-19 it's tragic with what's going on and what's going on in the world right now. There's a lot of tragedy going on in the world and it's causing us to pause. And when we pause, we have to stop what we're doing and we have to take a breath and we have to figure out what's going on in our own personal world, given what's going on in the global world. And this is a time where we can reflect and we can figure out what's working and what's not working and what's effective and what's efficient and what can we implement and what can we discard and eliminate. And this is the best time to figure out, all right, what tools are out there that can make my message powerful, that can bring my brand to life. This is the time. So listen, I did a live video today without showering and without doing my hair. And if I can do it, you can do it. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. It is definitely the right time, and it picks up on what Doyle has said even in the first episode, that something like Master Chef could be done as a live stream where you could cook with them. You could buy the ingredients ahead of time and say, look, we're going to teach you to cook. Just here, buy the packets. They'll arrive in a box, and at 7 o'clock, we're going to teach you to make ...
The possibilities are
endless. There's a tremendous opportunity out there, but you have to kind of get in there and test it and see what works for your specific industry or niche or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I do digital marketing, right? How do you show that? There's like, you want to watch a website kind of thing. It's not that exciting. And I'm not sure about insurance, but it does involve a lot more people. But yeah, there's so many industries out there that have this huge, immense opportunity in front of them to say, hey, I can connect with my audience, I can build a community, and I can, create some amazing content. And to me, that's like so powerful. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And let me pick up on the second point we were making, and that is about Ash Grunwald, who lives in Byron Bay, which is a very funky place on the coast. Now, he's a guy that's already pretty popular and would have sold out many gigs that he had, one of which was in Melbourne that was cancelled. So what he did, very creatively, he used Ecamm, which is a site you have to use on your Mac, and he created an experience on a Saturday night, and he made a donation but recommended $20. And we went, and 518 other people went to this event. 518 people paid $20 to watch Ash play on the television. Right? He was in his studio. It sounded unbelievable because he's so unbelievable. And he's the guy that's thinking creatively. He loves to play. He loves to perform. He's not going to be content to not do it. He's found a way. And he's making a bit of money on the side to fund his lifestyle. And he's, we've got to make money. So he's made 10 grand out of that gig, plus or minus whatever the expenses were. And then he had a meet and greet idea. He had a meet and greet where, okay, for $50, I'll jump on Zoom and, help your kid play guitar for 10 minutes, or, I'll teach you what I'm doing with my setup, or we can talk about pedals. Because he's a super brain. He can play drums with his feet, and he's playing bass and guitar on one unit, and he's got all these pedals, and he can sing, and he looks funky. So,
You're talking Trevor's language.
I can play drums with my feet, just not very good at it.
Yeah, well, he can sing and play guitar and play drums with his feet. Like, he's three people in one. Wow. And so, and the gig was really entertaining. He had 500 people there. He made some money. He made people happy, and he's using this technology in an environment where he can't play live. We had scheduled to see him play at a hotel near us and he couldn't make it. So he just adjusted. And I'm very inspired by this story because he's adjusting to an environment where people want to see him play, but they can't. And he's giving them an opportunity to see him and also, keep himself alive. And I just think it's extremely inspiring. I know you've been following it too, Doyle, yeah?
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been seeing, because he's now using ads for the specific events, and his Eventbrite pages have like expanded. So he's sort of creating a whole ecosystem based around these live streams, which really are quite fascinating. And he's sort of taken that look that, hey, you know what, maybe I didn't try it, maybe it's something that I can do. And we've just sort of seen him explode in terms of what he's doing, and it's really impressive to see. But
Well,
I think that's important, is that you need to get kickstart yourself to say, hey, look, it's not going to be easy, it's going to be tough, and what do I talk about, and how do I talk about it, and where do I really start? And I think that's a lot of people's problems or challenges rather, is deciding that. So I don't know, what made you start, Linda?
Well, so this is a really good point, because Trevor, as a musician, he did not have 500 people showing up, and he did not make $10,000, but we did do the live streaming, and we did have contributions coming up. But what we didn't have is we didn't have Streamyard to have some of the banners and stuff that where you can promote and have it live and there, on the show. When I was researching types of platforms for musicians, Switcher was not. I think Switcher was coming up, but it wasn't so easy to navigate, and it wasn't as affordable as I was planning to. That I wanted to spend for that. So, but the thing is, I think the key point is, you hear someone who has the success story of 500 followers and $10,000, but how long did it take for him to start? Like, when did he start, and how? Like, did he have maybe a couple of views, and not even did he have a couple people showing up to a gig? I think people are so mired in hearing the success of someone after they've been working it for years. Then all of a sudden they think, oh, boom, I'm supposed to have 500 views and $10,000.
Well, no,
That
but
doesn't happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Linda. And for most people, that's 100% correct. I think you have to go into it knowing that it's a specific channel, and it's an opportunity for you to build that audience relationship. So initially, and you're not going to have a lot of people watching because they are busy. But if you build in that consistency with your content, and you're always there, and you show up on time, and you've got some great ideas or some fantastic guests, and you're providing some great value, that's what sort of attracts people. So it's no different than running a shop or running a TV station. Like, do you think if a news TV station sets up, they automatically have 1 million viewers? Did Facebook have one person sign up, or what is it now? 2 billion people sign up.
Right.
It took them 10 years, over 10 years to get to that point, 15 years.
The thing that's very important, and there's another one coming up this week if you want to watch it, is that we love Ash. We've seen him play live, and he already had an ecosystem that were hanging out to see him. Like, he was going to come to our town, and we had to cancel that gig. So we already had a growing audience that was eager to try. And the first gig actually had some issues, and he'd be the first to concede that. And there was a couple of moments there where he had to say, look, mate, just talk amongst yourself. We've got to work out which button to push, or which part. And we all were having a laugh and thinking, well, look, it's the first one, and we forgive you, and we're part of it with you. And he had such a strong, overwhelming, supportive issue that the thing with sound is that his mouth didn't sync with the music. So there was this 3-second delay between singing and, he'd go into a solo, and 3 seconds later his hands would move. And, he stopped, and he said, look, I've got to sort this out. Give me 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And we all forgave him because he's the evil Knievel of music marketing. He's having a go, and we just wanted to wrap our hands around him and say, mate, you winner. You're having a go. We know this is hard, and you're in there trying it. And we can follow him now. He's got a model. He's the guy we're looking to say, you've done it, you've sorted it out, and you are such a brave, sort of courageous being for that. And he had to come on live and say, mate, I don't know what I'm doing. and guess what? We don't know where to put this cord in, and how do we get that to work, and how do we get those things to come up so that we can see what people are saying, and I'm not sure, and the sound doesn't sync, and I can't get my mic to work. And he had to have the courage is the right word. He had to have the courage to say, look, bear with me, guys. I mean, I'd rather be in your town playing at the pub. I mean, I'd just rather jump in the station wagon and come and see you, but I can't. And please forgive me for that. And
there's that whole
fear
thing.
It's
right?
a fear thing.
It's a lot of fear, I would say, just based on what you're talking about, Keith, and what I've experienced too.
I think fear itself should be its own show, because it is absolutely a show stopper. People don't want, fear of rejection, fear of negative comments, like, oh, why is your hair sticking out like this right over here? Like, what's going on there? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because usually the message is someone's going to glean something. Even if someone doesn't watch this entire show, they're going to glean something at some point for the motivation. That was the thing that this woman I spoke to today, she's not going to hire me. And I was sort of like, Annie, you don't need to hire me. You just need motivation to know you can do it. You need inspiration to know that you can do it. You know how to do it. You just don't want to get on video. So you need to just get on video. I was on, the reason she and I had spoken was because I was asked to speak at a weekly networking group, and they wanted me to speak about marketing during a crisis. So I put together 4 myths of marketing during a crisis. And basically this isn't even during a crisis. This is just in regular times, a business owner marketing. People don't think they know, they don't have anything to say. Of course you have a lot to say. People don't understand the value of what they know and how to deliver that message. They think everyone knows what I know. No, they don't.
You're sitting on a mountain of value, right? And a lot of times you don't recognize that.
Yeah.
But it does take work, right? It's not something that you can automatically come up, oh, I got to do a live stream, let's do a live stream. It does take some planning, and that's okay, but that's no different than any of your other marketing, any of your other operations or accounting. Did you understand accounting right at the beginning? Probably not, right? It took some time, but you had to do it. And as we get more and more into this, this is becoming a must-have, right? There's no way around it. You have to be able to create those ideas, create those pieces of content, and deliver it, right?
I think, Doyle, to your point, I just want to jump in and say that one of the things that they miss the mark on, the little bits of things that they learn that their clients don't know and that their clients want to learn. That right there, that's marketing. You just take that. Take everything your clients ask you questions about. You could do a whole campaign just on frequently asked questions, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just make your entire marketing is designed around FAQs, and you're golden.
And that's the challenge, is being able to identify that too, that little tiny gap, that there is a difference in what you know to what other people know. But a lot of times, myself included, I don't always recognize that, I can zip through one of these platforms pretty quickly and try to, coordinate all the banners and all that kind of stuff. Not everybody knows how to do that, but being able to recognize that, I think, is that mountain of value that everybody's sitting on. Sometimes it just has to take that starting point to say, hey, okay, what is that? Like the marketing in times of a crisis, that's brilliant. There's so many opportunities for content. It's just, how do you then relay that into the medium of video, and being able to repurpose it as well.
Exactly.
We had a quick comment, another one from Trevor. Everyone had the problem with the reverse image on Facebook. Right-handed guitar players look backwards.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a right-handed guitar player?
He's actually a lefty, but he plays
I was
right-handed.
Gonna say, yeah, no, he probably is.
But we, at every show where we we didn't know that you can click on the orientation on Facebook at the bottom under the effects tool. And so forever, everyone was like, why are you playing like that? That looks odd. But, you know, you learn different things. You learn new things when you try new things.
Hey, Keith, why don't we go through a couple of your latest polls and then we can wrap up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Okay, so
just Twitter polls. So here's one of the places that you can go. It's actually I'll post the link here, but it's a cool little tool. A friend of mine from Singapore, Rodriguez Martinez, from Singapore, is actually the builder of this. And where did I put it? Shoot, where did it go? Disappeared. Anyway, it's fyi.to. Oh, here it is, the Launchpad. So yeah, so you can go to that Launchpad, bit.ly/livestream Launchpad. But what it is it's a collection of content that you can use. And Keith has been amazing at sort of digging into sort of the motivations and the inspirations and the understandings of what exactly, you know, drives people towards content.
Yeah.
So we've actually collected some of the Twitter polls here. And Keith, if you wanted to take over, I can click into them if you want.
So Doyle asked me a question during the week, and Twitter polls, LinkedIn has polls, every site has polls, but the reason I love Twitter polls, I love them, and I do them all the time, is that you can ask a question and you can have 4 answers, 4 potential answers, one of which could be all of the above, which it often is. And you can run it for a week. And it's a great way of asking your tribe what they want. So if we're talking about repurposing content, Doyle and I were talking, well, how should we repurpose it? I mean, he had said that many of his friends had said, oh, mate, I don't watch videos. Well, is that true? We wanted to test that. So we ran a Twitter poll to say, if you had a choice, where do you take in your information these days in the new normal? Do you read articles? Do you watch videos? Do you listen to podcasts? You know, and the variation on that could be, do you read the newspaper? Do you watch TV? Do you listen to the radio, which was a separate poll? And we found that, you know, most people take in information from a lot of different sources, but that reading still is a thing. So that means that blogging can still work. And the reason why these Twitter polls are very useful is we are busy, and we've never been more busy. And we don't want to do everything for everyone just for the sake of it. So if podcasts are not that popular with your tribe, then you can just forget that piece for now. You can do that later. But if blogging is really powerful, then spend a bit of extra time on it. And so suddenly you're getting this discernment to say, look, I've got time, a little bit of time today. What's the best use of my time? Should I write a blog post? Should I convert my video to audio and make a podcast? Mm-hmm. Should I edit my video? Because you can't do all 3 unless you've got 3 heads. You know, you can only do one thing. So these Twitter polls, and I'm doing a lot of these, is really trying to understand what my tribe want. You know, I don't know everything and I don't pretend to, but my tribe knows what they need. And that was a very useful one, wasn't it? Because it picked up on a question you had, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's the cool thing, is that you can see what actually, you can verify your assumptions, right? We all have tons of assumptions when we get started on anything. So we can see, okay, did it make sense? Do other people agree with me or not? Or should I be looking in a different avenue? So yeah, to me, I think that they're very, very powerful for that.
And it picks up on what Linda was originally going to speak about, that in the days before she started StreamYard, you were already blogging and podcasting, weren't you? How did you do that, and how did you find that worked?
Well, we weren't podcasting. That is a whole nother level of the courage that you speak of. Yeah. No, we basically, we during the summer, we were researching, okay, how are we going to kick off our commercial financing business? And I said, we're going to do a weekly video. And I had If Then Thursday in my mind. I was like, If Then Thursday. I love alliterations. So I just love the sound of it. And then he was like, yeah, and we'll do Finance Friday. And I was like, okay. So now I'm like, oh crap, I got to do 2 weekly videos. That's enormous. That's a lot. It's a lot. But the repurposing piece was expedited because I subscribed to a caption service. And like I had said before, I was able to take the captions and then are the transcriptions of the captions, and then we would make a blog about it, and then put the blog on the website, and then take the thumbnail, create a thumbnail in Canva, and then hyperlink the thumbnail to the YouTube video. And then, I definitely stick to, I make more work for myself because I stick to uploading video natively to Facebook natively and LinkedIn natively and IGTV natively. So I don't use I don't even know if there's an aggregator to upload videos. I do it natively. So, but yeah, so podcast is not in our purview right now.
Okay. And that Twitter poll there would indicate that you're on the right track, because of the people that I've surveyed, podcasting seems to be a very, very poor third. Now, that's not to say that that's the case with everyone, but in my tribe, if I had to decide if I was going to turn my video into an audio, turn it into a transcript, or turn it into a video edit, my tribe can help me decide.
However, let me just say, a lot of podcasters, they record their videos, they record their podcasts on video, whether they use Skype or Ecamm or Zoom or YouTube Live. They create their podcast by utilizing a video platform and then just extract the audio. Boom, it's a podcast and a video.
Yeah.
Because you do that, don't you? You do that, don't you, Dora?
Yeah, they've reduced a step. Yeah. So I've had a podcast for a number of years. Likewise, live streaming for, quite a few years, 3-4 years. But yeah, I think you want to make it as easy as possible. And true, not everybody necessarily has a podcast as their priority, but it does depend on your audience, and it does depend on what you're doing and what your podcast is actually about too. So you know what? The people who don't listen to podcasts, maybe they haven't found my podcast yet.
Right.
Right. So it's more a matter of what is the audience thinking, what are they doing, and where are they going to listen to that, right? So it takes specific. I mean, with video, it's nice to have the captions now, right? So you don't have to necessarily turn on the.
And with that in mind, can you talk us through that caption site? What do you use and how do you use it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I use Quick, QUICC. My disclaimer is I am an ambassador. So if you ever wanted to subscribe, please let me know, because I have a link for you. And actually, anyone who subscribes through my ambassador link, they get 10 extra minutes when they subscribe. And when you're first starting video, 10 minutes is a lot. If you're not used to, long, if you're used to shorter form video. So I use QICC, quick dot. I don't even know if it's quick.co, but anyway, you can find it.
Well, let me pick up on that. Why don't we do some variations? Because this is a really key point that a lot of people ask me about. A lot of people want to watch my videos on the train, on the plane, on the car, on the tram. Surprisingly, a lot of people watch videos without sound, really high percentage. So something like Quick is a great example. Can you do some quick videos with our live stream, and we'll demonstrate it for people, and then we'll send it back to your link?
Can I ask me that again? Can I do videos?
Can you get transcripts of a recording, or is it only live? You have to set it up beforehand, or if I sent you an MP4,
you should be able to upload it.
I upload the video.
Like Rev. Yeah, you upload the video and then it creates the the caption.
So people need to know how to do that.
I think Rev is a competitor. Yeah, you take the video and live stream. I don't think their platform, I could be wrong, but I don't think their platform allows for you, because Streamyard does it. Like, I can't see it because I'm in the broadcast studio, but I think it's doing the captions right now, right?
I don't think so. We actually found that last week, and this is still maybe a bit of a mystery, but with Ecamm and Skype, we did have captions coming through, and those were clearly visible. I did go back and check the live video, and I didn't see them.
I think
through
StreamYard does
StreamYard?
live. I think StreamYard does live captions. I just don't. I think it's a default that you don't even have to
Oh,
cue
okay.
it to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I definitely saw that it does that, but I don't think Quick does live. I don't think it's that kind of platform. I think the live
Yeah, you just upload the
platforms have
video.
either they
Yeah.
caption or they don't caption. But I do know when I downloaded StreamYard, it didn't have the captions.
Yeah.
So you have to then repurpose your videos that you download from StreamYard. You have to figure out, because I'm not uploading. So we've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not uploading to Quick an hour and 15 minutes because that eats up your subscription is based on minutes that you transcribe. So I might take the video and then I edit it, and then I might have 3 minutes, and then I upload it to Quick, and then have the captions for that.
And you get it as a Word document, or does it? How do you get
It's
the
a
file?
caption
MP4.
file. Well, you can get it as both a caption file
SRT,
and a
yeah.
Word document.
You can get an SRT
SRT.
file, or you can get it as an MP4 with the video with the captions. And
well, let's do that. I'll do some. We'll tag team on this. I'll make some small videos, send them to you. You put Quick on it to show people how to do it, and then we'll tag team and say that I did the editing, Linda did the captions. Here's the link to the editing site. I use Filmora.
Yes.
And here's the link to the caption site. You use Quick. And it's a great little learning. And this is exactly what we're talking about here with this live stream. We've just chatted and we've been talking for an hour, but now we're going to repurpose.
That's right.
We're going to repurpose little snippets demonstrating what we do.
Right.
It's perfect. It's a perfect use of our skills, isn't it?
Well, I think too, also people are overwhelmed with the tools. There are a ton of tools, and it's a matter of like, well, all right, forget about the actual execution on the marketing of whether it's a video or writing a blog or doing a podcast. Then it's like, all right, well, which platform am I using, or which tool am I using? Like, how do you then navigate the platform of the platform that you're using? It's a lot. So I think people are just, so they get paralyzed with the possibilities, with the options and the possibilities. It's so you kind of just have to have a little bit of inspiration, and it's no different than when you needed an insurance agent and you asked your neighbor, which insurance agent do you use? Okay, you trust them, I'll trust them. And then you call them and then you're using them. It's a decision that's made already because the referral is solid, or you trust them.
Well, I had that experience today. Someone said, Matt, I want to buy a television. You just bought a television. What did you buy?
Yeah.
So I bought a Sony. So I'm very happy. I don't work for them, but I'm very happy to recommend Sony TVs because I've got one and it works and I love it. So
decision fatigue is real right now.
Wow.
It's
Decision
real.
Fatigue. Love that.
Yeah. I wish I could say I made it up, but I didn't. Somebody said it sometime. And
well, how much easier is it for some people to say, well, look, I need this thing called captioning. Linda recommends Quick. I'll just use that. You've already done the hard work. You've already tried it.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's 4 different personalities of people how they make decisions. I'm a quick decision maker. Like, I don't want a lot of data. Don't need a lot of data to make a decision. If you trust it, I'm just going to do it. So, Quick, StreamYard, I went in, I tested, did a demo. Maybe I checked out the price, blah, 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 blah. Boom, I'm done. I did it. I downloaded it. I bought it, and I'm using it. If there are some people that just need to do more research, and there's nothing wrong with that, with how you make decisions.
Yep.
But there's a lot of options out there. So you have to decide how much time do you want to allocate to your decision making to make a commitment to then execute on something that you know is important.
Perfectly said. And that's why there is what we've been Keith and I have been talking about is putting together like a challenge to kind of help people get to those stages very, very quickly so that you're not wasting time. Like Keith and I, the purpose of this show was to test things. Keith's been live streaming for years. I've been live streaming for years and podcasting for years. So we kind of had a pretty good idea. But there's so much out there. It's like, how do we actually condense this into something practical and usable and that you can get with it and go like right away? So that's one of our objectives here.
And I want to say as a last thing, because I know we're over, I think, the normal time that you guys do. I will
Well,
just
because we have a great guest.
Oh, you're sweet. Mwah, mwah. So one of the things I want to say, if people are saying to themselves in this crazy, unprecedented, challenging time, if they're watching their numbers or however they study their metrics, if they're saying, I need to do something different, or like the woman who called me today, I'm not sure, but I things are slowing down and I'm seeing less calls coming in and I feel like I might be missing the boat on something. It's like, well, then you have to do something you aren't doing already.
Yeah.
Period.
That's that gap.
Full stop. Yeah. Do something you're not already doing. If you're doing email marketing, which I always condone email marketing, but how can you spice it up? Do a video, embed it in your email, hyperlink it to YouTube, do a little live on Instagram, 1 minute. Start out with 1 minute. You don't like how your hair looks? Who cares? Do it on stories. It's 24 hours. It doesn't matter. It's going to go away anyway. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Just keep going. So in closing then, Linda, what are your final words on live streaming? Do
it. And don't think about it, because no one is critiquing you worse than you. No one is looking at you and doing the thing that you do in the mirror worse than you. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to learn. They don't care what you look like. Just do it.
Fantastic. Keith, closing comments?
I have this very, very cool phrase that I tell myself all the time.
Being the Twitter ninja, or no, Twitter Evil Knievel?
I just say that the best way to avoid criticism is to do nothing. So if you don't want to be criticized, do nothing and nothing will happen and you'll never get criticized. But that's not a way to live. It's not a way that human beings evolve. So the exact opposite of that story is that I'm just going to try it and I'm just going to hope that the people that I want to hang out with will forgive me for my experiments. Like Ash, he is a rock star in every sense of the word. No, he's actually tried something and he failed, and we were with him. We forgave him. We helped him. People were ringing him saying, mate, just plug this button into this cord and try it there and try this. And, he was off the air for 10 minutes, but we forgave him. I think we're in an environment now, 2020, where if you want to stand out, you've really got to do something different. As Linda said, you've got to try it. You just got to have the courage to have a go. And if you don't like live streaming, you'll try making a video and deleting it. Just try something that goes away. And eventually you will get your chutzpah. You'll get your courage and you'll say, mate, I'm here. Because there's a lot of people doing what's been done before and they're not standing out. That's why we're all having trouble. A lot of these people are having trouble. They're doing what's been done before, and they're just blending in the environment. It's all vanilla. Whereas this is a great opportunity. We're right at the cusp on an amazing opportunity that could really explode. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the people who are doing this today and are starting to do it today. It does take time. It's like anything, right? But it gives you that opportunity to be able to stick your nose out, but also, being able to grow that audience as you get it. We have to start with version 1.0, right? And I think a lot of us forget that. We want to get to superstar status, right away. We want to have that perfect website. We want to have that perfect, book launch. We want to have that perfect whatever. And it doesn't happen. We have to think back and go, the big companies, they didn't start big. They started small. We have to start with version 1.0. And to what you said, Linda, like it's really a matter of just getting out there and getting started, and don't sort of be scared of yourself. And Keith, what you said, so true, right? people are forgiving. We're not as critical as ourselves to ourselves. So people are
Yeah.
forgiving. They'll watch through the, we've had a few shows that just kind of off the hut, they kind of dived because the feed was lost or whatever. We lost the guests. No offense, Linda, but that's okay. It does happen. But the understanding is that it's going to happen. You are going to have these tech issues, but guess what? It's more, again, as they say, how many times you get up as opposed to how many times you've fallen down. So really, really want to thank you, Linda, for joining us all the way from the US. Keith, thanks again for being my wonderful and amazing co-host. For everybody, Sarjeet and Trevor, who left us some amazing comments and joined in the conversation, really, really appreciate it. If you'd like to get started on your live streaming journey, you can take a look at some of our earlier episodes, some of Keith's Twitter polls, our 20-point checklist as well to see what platform actually works for you at bit.ly/livestream launchpad. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you online.
See you later.
Ciao.